Hi everyone. In this video, I wanted to start talking a little bit about finding the distance between 2 points in the plane. Okay, the whole first part of this video is not necessarily something I'm going to test you over, but it is kind of an explanation for how we come up with the um, seemingly arbitrary distance formula you might have for 2 points in the plane. Okay. So let's just suppose we have 2 points, A and B, in the coordinate plane, okay? The coordinate plane is just where we have two number lines intersecting each other, and any point in the plane has a form X and Y, okay? Uh, that's the two components to it. So if we say we have a point in the plane, we'll have a point A in the plane here, okay? And we'll have a point B here, okay? And A is represented by x1, y1, and B is represented by x2, y2. All right? And we're just going to say that the distance between these 2 points is D. And we want to find D. Okay? All right, so the first thing we should do is create a right triangle uh, that is built around this distance D. Okay? So let's do that. So let's draw a right triangle that looks about like this. Okay, right triangle here. Okay, and when we do this, we have an additional point C right here. Okay, we have an additional point C. So let's find the x and y coordinates for C. One of the things we'll notice is that C is going to have the same x coordinate as our point B. Okay, so if we think of this being the number lines associated with the plane, can demonstrate that here. Okay, we can see that A here is at x1. We'll see this is our x-axis. This is our y-axis here. Okay, A has x1, and then B is going to have x2. A is also going to have y1, and B is going to have y2. So C is going to have the same x coordinate as B, and it's going to have the same y coordinate as A. Okay? So C has coordinates x2 and y1. Now, to find the distance between our point A and C, we can subtract x2, or we can subtract x1 from x2. So our distance here is x2 minus x1. That's how far apart uh, A and C are here, at least in the x direction. Okay? And if we want to find the distance between B and C, we can have y2 minus y1. Okay? So the next thing we have here is we can use the Pythagorean identity in order to find our distance d. Okay? So if you remember correctly, we have the Pythagorean theorem states if we have we can find the length of the hypotenuse by having a squared. We'll use different letters here. We'll do little a squared. A squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, where c is the hypotenuse. Here we can do to find d. We can have x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared is equal to d squared. And we get this by this is our one side, this is our other side, and d is our hypotenuse in this situation. Okay, our longest side. So to find d, all we have to do is take the square root of both sides. And we'll get that d is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. And that's our distance formula. Okay, so this is how we come up with a distance formula. Let's go ahead and apply this in some real world situation here. Okay, let's say we have 2 points. Point A is the point 2, 1, and the point B is, I don't know, 6, 4. And we want to find the distance between these 2 points in the plane. Okay, it might be kind of hard to do that since they're not all on the same axis. So we have to use our distance formula. All right, so we'll label our x1 and y1 and our x2 and y2. So we'll say 2 is x1 and 1 is y1. And then we'll have 6 is x2 and 4 is y2. And to find the distance, all we have to do is apply our distance formula. And by the way, this is one that I would recommend you memorize, okay? So d is equal to the square root of x2 minus x1. So in this case, we'll have 6 minus 2 squared plus y2 minus y1, 4 minus 1 squared, okay? So we have the square root of 4 squared plus 3 squared is equal to the square root of 16 plus 9, which is equal to the square root of 25, which is 5. So we know the distance between these 2 points is 5. And oftentimes you'll get ones that are a little more complicated. You're going to have to do some simplification of your square roots, but the gist is going to be exactly the same here for all of these. Okay, so hopefully this helps a little bit for understanding how to find the distance between 2 points in the plane.